I want you to imagine, just for a second, that you are packing for eternity, like literally.
Right.
You're preparing for the afterlife, and you're allowed to take a few modern luxuries with you. What actually makes the cut? Are we talking your smartphone or, your favorite skincare routine? Maybe an unlimited credit card?
It is a really profound question to start with. I mean, because we usually think of the afterlife in these very ethereal, abstract terms, endless voids or clouds, harps, stuff like that.
Exactly.
But what if the next world is just, a bureaucratic mirror image of this one?
Well, today's deep dive is exploring a stack of sources covering Hong Kong's spiritual paper-burning rituals. And I'm just deeply fascinated by the juxtaposition here.
Oh, it's wild.
Right. On one hand, you have these ancient spiritual traditions, but on the other, you have a hyper-modern, high-tech paper economy built specifically for the deceased. And the craftsmanship we are looking at, it honestly rivals actual tech companies.
It does. And while those paper gadgets, they really grab your attention, the underlying mechanism is what truly anchors this practice. So we are going to look at the psychological alchemy of fire, how this practice acts as a literal and figurative bridge from grief to healing.
Yeah, we're going to explore this massive paper pop art economy, contrast an intense Taoist spiritual rescue mission with a peaceful Buddhist path-clearing ritual, and uncover why 25-year-olds in London and New York are suddenly burning ancestor money to unblock their careers.
It's quite a journey.
It really is. We should probably start with the physical objects themselves, which are known in Hong Kong as Zazoo. And calling it paper crafting, it almost feels like a disservice to the art form.
Oh, absolutely. The sources we have describe it much more like a meticulous form of structural engineering. The artisans use these tiny bamboo splints, binding tissue, and colored paper to create three-dimensional models of, almost anything you can imagine.
It borders on pop art. You walk into these traditional shops in neighborhoods like Sham Shui Po, and you aren't just seeing ancient gold ingots or simple paper clips.
It's the traditional stuff.
Yeah, families are actually commissioning paper 5G smartphones. And we're not talking about just a rectangular block painted black here. We are talking paper phones that come with tiny, individually crafted paper SIM cards.
A paper SIM card. That sheer level of detail reflects a very specific modern anxiety, I think.
How so?
Well, the living don't want their deceased loved ones to be left behind by the digital divide, right? Even in the underworld. They want them to have the best possible connectivity.
The specificity is what really gets me. Our sources show there are paper VR headsets, paper Dyson hair dryers, luxury La Mer skincare sets where the paper packaging is virtually indistinguishable from the real glass jars.
It's incredible.
They even have black cards from the Bank of Hell with literally no spending limit. And get this, during the peak of the pandemic, families were even burning customized paper COVID-19 kits. Yeah, with little paper masks and rapid tests. To me, this just looks like an Amazon Prime delivery service for the afterlife.
Calling it a delivery service hits on a really profound emotional truth, even though the cargo isn't actually technology or skincare.
Right.
What is actually being delivered is what we might call retroactive compassion.
Retroactive compassion.
Yeah.
Meaning giving them something you couldn't give them when they were here.
Exactly. Imagine a grandmother who worked her entire life in a factory, saved every penny for her children, and just never got to travel, never really experienced luxury.
Yeah.
When she passes, her family might commission a paper airplane, a meticulously crafted paper passport, and a luxury hotel voucher. In Western culture, we tend to view fire primarily as a destructive force. A house burns down, a forest is destroyed.
It's a loss.
Right, it's final. But in these rituals, fire is something entirely different. It is a transmission protocol.
Like a metaphysical portal?
Yes. Think about the physical properties of fire. We are looking at the alchemy of smoke here. When you burn that beautifully crafted paper passport, the fire actively breaks the physical molecular bonds of the paper.
Okay.
It transforms the heavy static weight of the object and, by extension, the heavy static weight of the family's grief into rising ethereal smoke. The essence of the object crosses the veil.
And it is highly visual. It's not just a thought or a silent prayer. You are watching the delivery happen in real time.
And it goes way beyond just sending a gift. For the grieving family, watching those flames consume the objects provides absolute visual confirmation that their duty is fulfilled.
Right, it's done.
It is the final moving day for the deceased. The fire unlocks the material world and transfers their love and sometimes their unspoken apologies directly into the spiritual dimension.
But wait, if we are sending all these hyper-specific items, unlimited credit cards, 5G phones, hotel vouchers, and assuming they actually arrive, who is processing the transactions?
That is the big question.
Because to understand why you need a black card, you have to understand the destination. And the sources paint a picture of the Chinese afterlife, not as a paradise of resting souls, but as a massive, impossibly complex bureaucracy.
Oh, totally. The roots of this paper economy and this bureaucratic vision go back thousands of years. In the pre-Qin dynasties, the elite actually buried real objects with their dead. Real pottery, real bronze, and tragically, real living servants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But as society progressed and became more humanitarian and, frankly, more economical, paper replaced those physical burials.
Let's look closer at that folk legend in the sources about the invention of paper itself.
Yeah.
So Kai Lun is the historical figure credited with improving papermaking during the Eastern Han Dynasty, right?
Right, he's the historical guy.
But there's a legend that his sister-in-law faked her own death, and the story goes she was miraculously resurrected because her husband supposedly burned paper money to bribe the gatekeepers of the underworld.
It's quite a story.
I mean, was she really resurrected, or is this just the greatest ancient marketing campaign ever recorded?
Historians strongly lean toward the marketing campaign theory.
I knew it.
I mean, Kai Lun had just revolutionized papermaking, but he needed a mass market use case. Before this, paper was relatively novel and expensive. By linking paper to afterlife currency and starting this rumor of a spiritual bribe, he essentially created an infinite demand loop.
That is brilliant.
The underworld supposedly required processing fees, and conveniently, his factory produced the exact currency needed.
He literally monetized the afterlife. But okay, if the afterlife is a massive bureaucracy, does that mean you have to pay spiritual taxes? Like, is this just an individual family obligation, or do you have to do spiritual charity for the broader community? Because a bureaucracy implies an entire society of ghosts, not just your relatives.
This tension between family and community is exactly why the ritual calendar is structured the way it is. You have different festivals for different levels of this spiritual society.
Okay, give me an example.
Take the King Ming Festival in the spring. That is highly personal. It's Tomb Sweeping Day. Families go to the hillside cemeteries, clean the graves, and burn joss paper specifically for their direct bloodline. The goal is filial piety. You are maintaining your ancestors' house to ensure your family's continued prosperity.
So it's about keeping the wealth strictly within the family tree.
Contrast that with the Hungry Ghost Festival in the summer. During the 7th lunar month, tradition dictates the gates of hell swing wide open.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now, you aren't just dealing with your beloved grandmother, you are dealing with wandering spirits who have no descendants to burn offerings for them. They are spiritually broke and hungry.
And if you've ever felt a sudden, inexplicable chill walking down a street in late summer, our sources suggest you might have just bumped into one of these wandering spirits.
Exactly.
And that's where the community aspect comes in. The material talks about people burning street clothes and generic offerings right on the pavement.
It functions as spiritual diplomacy. If you don't feed the hungry ghosts, they might cause mischief or bad luck in your neighborhood.
That makes sense.
And the scale of this in Hong Kong is incredible. During the Hungry Ghost Festival, communities build massive temporary bamboo theaters to host Chinese opera. And the entire first row of seats is intentionally left empty.
Front row seats reserved for the unseen guests.
Right.
It shows that the bureaucracy of the afterlife is completely intertwined with the living community. You have to navigate both simultaneously. Which raises a huge logistical question for me.
What's that?
If there is a whole spiritual bureaucracy handling intake and customs, how does the soul actually enter the system in the first place?
That transit is the core function of the funeral rites themselves. And the sources detail two very different, almost opposing approaches to navigating that spiritual intake.
Right, first you have the Taoist drama. The ritual is called Po De Yuk, which translates to breaking the gates of hell. It sounds less like a funeral and more like a tactical extraction.
It really does.
I mean, funerals in the West are usually defined by silence, right? Whispering, soft music, dark suits. But this is a highly theatrical sensory overload. The Taoist priest is performing an acrobatic dance. He is spinning around a literal bonfire in the middle of the room. He has a sword, and he is physically smashing 9 clay tiles with it.
Those 9 tiles represent the 9 levels of hell in Taoist cosmology.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the priest is symbolically and spiritually storming the gates of the underworld to physically break the deceased out of a prison of suffering.
And it is incredibly loud. We're talking banging drums, clashing cymbals, intense chanting. The sources explain that the noise is a feature, not a bug. They are actually trying to wake the soul up.
Exactly.
The afterlife's bureaucracy is chaotic, and a newly departed soul might be confused or lost in the shuffle.